Just think of the cost of this transfer, the enormous cost it must be for Iraq. Some of us find that rather sinister, not quite understanding why that was necessary. We need an answer as to why the United Nations agreed to this. But what is more bewildering is the current situation. On Christmas Eve, the United Nations signed a memorandum of understanding with the Iraqi government, designated the former US-based Camp Liberty as the new relocation site. But it has now become apparent that the Iraqi regime is turning that site into a prison. The residents are being denied access to basic sanitary facilities, to medicine, to medical treatment, to drinking water. They're denied access to their lawyers. Iraq insists they cannot take with them to the camp their belongings, their vehicles, their bicycles, whatever it may be. I think a more accurate description of Camp Liberty would be a concentration camp designed for the purpose of subjugation, and who can tell what the end will be for the residents there. Ladies and gentlemen, while human rights and property rights are being violated, the United Nations remains silent and hasn't publicly criticised the Iraqi government for the breaching of the terms of the Memorandum of Understanding, for violating the rights of asylum seekers which are enshrined in the United Nations charters and in international law, and for making the conditions of a peaceful settlement possible. So, my friends, we are here today to give voice to these issues. We seek an answer and a workable solution to the crisis. All of us here today stand with the people of Ashraf. We shall not allow them to be oppressed and ignored. We shall use what voice and what influence we have with our political parties, with our government, with the decision makers in the United States, the European Union and the United Nations Security Council to take action by implementing the agreements that are already in place to resolve this crisis and bring peace and security to the people of Ashraf, who, as our chairman Lord Corbett defined as the bravest of the brave. Finally, let me say this. We all know that historically women are not allowed their rights in the Middle East. Yet the women of Iran have taken a high profile in the most challenging circumstances and environment. Their brave stand for their rights and those of their fellow citizens is an inspiration to us all. And in particular, I highlight the role of their leader, Mrs. Mariam Rajavi, who is the driving force behind this massive international campaign. In bringing the range of views from the extreme ends of the political spectrum under one roof and behind one desk and in one panel is a hard task, but she has managed it. It is a clear indication of her tolerance, sense of understanding and her ability to listen to diverse views and find a common denominator. That is why so many non-Iranians, as well as millions of Iranians, trust her to be the leader for peaceful change. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure that you will agree with me that managing such change is a most difficult task for any public figure. Mrs. Rajavi has proven qualities that make her fit for that task. That is why we want to start today and send her very good wishes to her from this meeting. Thank you very much indeed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a galaxy of talent before us today. Now, our next speaker is a dear old friend of mine, not old friend, long-standing friend, let me put it like that. She's Lord Clerk of Hampstead, a distinguished leader of the campaign for Iran freedom for over 30 years, tireless supporter of the cause of democracy, and is a leader particularly in the campaign for the protection of Ashraf residents. My dear friend Tony Clark, let's hear from you.